Hello and welcome back to the Outer Worlds. This is episode 10 of my playthrough. Um, so I'm currently on the Unreliable. We went through Roseway last episode, gathered much of the research and schematics and things from that place, and we managed to sell a fair bit of that to finance us purchasing a nav key to Stellar Bay. So the main quest now is on the Radio Free Monarch quest. Uh, the description says the information broker promised to find the location of the chemicals needed by Phineas. Problem is, he hasn't delivered the intel on time and hasn't provided an explanation. Travel to Monarch, find him, and obtain the data. And Phineas contracted, it says, speak with Nyoka at Stellar Bay. Phineas contacted the broker through a well-known Monarch big game hunter named Nyoka. She frequents the yacht club in Stellar Bay, so look for her there. We also have these side quests that are available to us, including weapons from the void, so we're going to need to go to Scylla at some point and also look for some old logs or data archives from vendors over in Fallbrook. Silent Voices, that's a side quest that was given to us by I think Edna at the Groundbreaker, so to investigate a communications relay station. Solution Vital, this is also a side quest from the Groundbreaker, so we need to go to Scylla for that one. We also have a faction quest for Sublight Salvage, which is called Space Crime Continuum. So we need to go and retrieve the information from an agent in Stellar Bay. So I think Lilia told us to look for someone at the docks or something. And we also have this companion quest called the Empty Man. That's Vicar Max's companion quest. So once we're able to get to Fallbrook, we're going to have to take Max to visit Reginald Cheney and ask him about the band journal. So now I need to decide which companions to bring with me. I'm thinking I'm going to bring Felix and Max on the initial run. So we'll go do that. Let me just go and see if I can tinker my weapons a little bit more here. Weapons and armor. Tinker. Let's go with armor. So my helmet, I can tinker it up a little bit. That won't cost too much. So it's currently level 6. And this one is level 16, so let's raise it a little bit more as well. Alright. So that's good. And the weapons, this rifle is going to cost me a lot to increase, so I'm going to leave it as it is. This one too. Plasma rifle, to be honest, I'm not really using it, but yeah. So I'm not going to tinker it for now. Let's repair all of our stuff before we go. There's not that much to repair anyways, just the Deadeye assault rifle, which is pretty much our main weapon. Alright, Stellar Bay landing pad. So I will bring Max and Felix. I'm sure that Stellar Bay is going to offer us a whole bunch of new quests to do as well, so that's pretty good. can already see the yacht club there.
Hey, hold on there. I gotta sign you in.
Okay.
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right?
You seem surprised.
You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off.
What are they doing out there?
You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records.
Captain Mark.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code.
Thank you.
I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill.
Is Stellar Bay really that isolated?
We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago.
You're not what I expected to find on Monarch.
Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly.
Did he just say raptidons and cannibals? I can't wait.
Are you saying the board's been lying about this place?
Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
Ah, the nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though.
Alright, I'm gonna go have a look around town.
Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you?
Sure.
Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor?
That depends. What is it?
I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tosswell poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in?
Who's the Black Hole?
Boss, come on. Black Hole Birdie, the Hole Meister, the Hack Attack.
That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever. Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something?
Actually, I've been in hibernation for decades.
Oh, you're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay.
This poster sounds pretty valuable.
I couldn't really say. I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now.
Sure, I can ask about your poster.
Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
Alright. First, before we do that, let's go to the yacht club and see if we can find Nyoka. I think I found her.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding all over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn rap out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you?
I'm Mark. Pleasure to meet you.
Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you?
I'm told you can get me I'm told you can get me to an information broker.
Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You'll have to get me something to clear my head.
Sure, what do you need?
Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
You mean caffeinoid. That stuff's just a stimulant.
Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so we need to go get that medicine for her. May as well talk to the bartender.
Well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Thanks.
Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you?
How well do you know Nyoka?
Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you?
You said you're not used to seeing new faces around here.
Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such.
What happened at Amber Heights?
Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls, though.
Why is this place called the Yacht Club?
Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all.
Are there any yachts in Stellar Bay?
Nope. But a man can dream.
Alright, nothing right now, thanks. Alright, let's explore the town a little bit. We still have to go see Sanjar and
What are the
Celia.
chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
This seems like an official building.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
This guy's so creepy. No, you have a meeting with me.
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here?
I'm just looking for the information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's Probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna.
Hell no. Afraid not.
Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
What exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon. Why not embrace it?
You talk like Graham.
Can't imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony. Could it be because you're an agent of the establishment?
I used to be young and idealistic too, but you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Sounds like something out of the chairman's own notes, Vic.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Are you out of your mind? You can't just go crawling back to your old masters.
Well, we can't continue to subsist like this either.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Fine, but how do you mean to do that?
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course.
Oh, of course.
If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
This Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
I was starting to get bored listening to you, till you said the phrase, extremely powerful ordnance.
It is quite the rush.
Where do I find one?
In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. These days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
I guess I'll go get your Bolt 52.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Sure, bye. Let's talk with Celia.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
What was that exchange about? Are you having money trouble?
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on raptidon acid.
Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, silent type.
No.
Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Maybe I can talk to him for you.
We
Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
Wait, I'm curious. What do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
That's all I need to know.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
I'd like to talk to you about the poster, but I guess I'll talk to you later and start a new conversation right after.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say?
Grim asked me to check with you about his tossball poster.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse.
All right.
But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
That's fine. Thanks, I'll do that. All right. So, warehouse. In here, maybe? I'm pretty sure this is the cannery, right?
If you want to talk to the boss, she's in the back of the warehouse.
Okay, thank you. It's just like a mess hall place. Leads back to outside, right? No. Yeah. Oh, here are the docks. Might as well try and find what Lilia wanted us to find out here. Oh. Bloody note. Effective clothing with safety harness gold. Sure. So what does the bloody note say though? Most of the text on this note is obscured by blood, but you can make out the words Lilia and passcode Antediluvian. Okay. So we have a level up. So, what gets unlocked through that? Oh, 20% chance items you repair will become pristine, increasing value and durability. Okay. Ah, there it is. Crouch move speed plus 25%. So yeah, sneak is going to be... Actually, can I... Oh, let's just revert all. I'd like to put 5 in each. So 5 in here. And... oh, now I have to raise individual skills. Okay. And Felix has something new, so that's probably tier 3. While Felix is in the party, you and your companions deal bonus damage to corporate enemies. Sure. Vicar Max, his tier 3 perk is called Mad Max. While Max is in your party, you and your companions deal bonus damage with science weapons, which is kind of useless because we're not really using science weapons, but whatever. Alright. So we got that portion done for the Sublight faction quest. Surely that Velma. There you are.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Catherine said she'd shove you in a box if you keep running your yap like that.
Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Your chief what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
He'll come back eventually. You can't constrain a person's freedom.
I can't keep working double shifts either. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
Yeah, I'm here to ask about Grimm's poster.
This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it?
Who's Nell?
She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too.
She does sound easier to deal with.
I don't have time for Grimm, even when I'm not working doubles.
You still have the poster, right?
It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money.
You're just giving Grimm's poster away? Didn't he pay for it?
No. I paid Sublight for it. So, it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take his money.
Surely we can work something out.
Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering.
Work with me. I'm helping you find Braxton, aren't I?
Sure. And once you finish helping me, then we can talk about the poster.
Okay. Alright, let's talk about something else.
Fine by me.
And actually, no, I don't think I, What's this about your foreman?
Caleb Herrick. Runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials. He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more.
I can talk to Caleb for you.
You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it? I'm joking. Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance. If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there.
Let's talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Why can't you give him his pay increase?
I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
She's principled, in at least this area. I will begrudgingly give her that.
Thank you. I think. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
Are you willing to meet Caleb halfway?
For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life.
Sanjar's going to notice your shortfalls before long, and he'll hold you responsible.
Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Fine by me.
You said Braxton had been stealing drugs?
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Why didn't you turn him in?
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get the Saltuna, fat and mostly tumor-free.
Who's this Catherine you mentioned when I first came in here?
Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer.
Alright, I'll talk to you later, Velma. Alright, so as you can see, I've picked up a few side quests. Let's go and do, I think one of the easiest ones is going to be flowers for Sebastian, sorry. Let's go talk to Sebastian for Celia.
Velma seem out of sorts too? She's always cranky.
Wrapped musk and canid eyes, right here.
That's probably the guy.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in Raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Nope. Let's talk about Celia.
Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff.
Would you consider going on a date with her?
Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
No.
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues.
Don't take my word for it. Spend some time with her. I promise she won't ask for a discount.
You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice. Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's. You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Why would I want any of that?
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett?
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Mantiqueens, especially.
Why was he interested in Mantiqueens?
Who wouldn't be?
People who value self-preservation, Sebastian.
Now that just sounds like a fancy way to say boring people.
This rings a bell because when you go to the community center in Emerald Vale, you find some references to this Pickett guy, and there's some notes on the terminal saying that he's out to go get a Mantiqueen for an exhibit. So this is the same guy. Have you seen a Mantiqueen?
Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them.
Where have you seen a Mantiqueen?
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett, but I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him. Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Sure, I can keep an eye out for him.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins.
Okay.
Last Mantiqueen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there too.
Maybe some other time. Alright, so this person seems to be a little bit distressed.
Sir, please, I need your help. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
Your child is missing. Where did you last see him?
Oh, I just knew you were a good person. Agnes, I said, this is the man to save your little Tucky. And I was right. He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous glands, but he didn't listen. Please, won't you go and find my boy?
I'll help you find your son.
Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Okay. Yeah, those quests and tasks keep piling up here. Well, a lot of people need my help here, apparently. Let's go talk to Celia and tell her about Sebastian.
Help! Someone's been killed!
What?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
You're right?
No! I just stepped in a dead man's blood. And I think one of the flies landed on my mouth.
Yeah.
If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Okay. Lower right, he said.
A murder? Hey, is this the part where we go hunting for clues?
I guess.
What a gruesome way to die.
What's this? Tossball betting slip. This betting slip lists some increasingly bold wagers made for a team called Mostly Colonists. It's from left field tossball betting. So we also need to go there to talk to that person about the poster. Hastily packed suitcase, several ragged outfits, all of the same cut and color, were stuffed into the suitcase. Okay. So it seemed like someone was making a run for it and got killed. I'll check the rest of the apartments here.
Whatever you do, don't mention tossball to Isaac.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
I'm looking for Braxton. Have you seen him?
Braxton? I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
Relax, no one's in trouble. I'm just looking to have a friendly chat with him.
Oh, in that case, he told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
That's all I needed.
We're in agreement that this Braxton is probably dead, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Out for deliveries. Dropping a care package off with the Matters in the old ruins south of Stellar Bay. Be back soon. Laura, I know you're reading this. Stay out of my things. This is Laura, right? Yeah. Okay. So, there's that. Okay. Got another Deadeye assault rifle. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And there's this door here. This is just an apartment, I guess. To Sanjar Nandi. Mr. Nanny, sorry to bother you about this, but something foul is leaking from the apartment upstairs. I don't know what Celia is keeping up there, but she works for you, right? Don't you think you could talk to her about it? Isaac Rose, can you please try to keep your windows shut? As I've tried to explain, leaving them open, especially when you've got food out, invites mantis swarms, and a mantis swarm infestation is everyone's problem. To be hecked. Braxton, I know you keep odd hours. I know because I've heard you coming and going at all times of the day, haha, but maybe you could try and close your door a little bit more quietly. I have rather sensitive nerves, sorry. And every time I hear your door, I think we're in the middle of another Hamber Heights. Okay. Alright. I will be right back. Alright, so I'm back. Alright, so what was I doing? Gathering a lot of tasks and quests from the folks here in Stellar Bay. So I have a lot to do. I was going to go and give Celia the good news about Sebastian wanted to go out on a date with her. Let's just go back to the main building.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say?
He said he'll go on a date with you.
Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia? I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on?
He likes you, Celia. Just don't ask him for any discounts.
Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
Alright, so that's done. Passion pills, yeah, so we need to get Nyoka's medicine, so we might as well tag that one as active. We'll go talk to the person in charge of the dispensary, I suppose.
Smells like wrapped in here. Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Sebastian.
Hello?
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember. What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
You're not my auntie. I've been asked to pick up a caffeinoid supplement.
And what a helpful young man you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits. Who's your lucky friend, dearie?
Actually, the pills are for me.
I'm so sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing away what little trade we get, I'm afraid I have to reserve my supply for Stellar Bay residents. Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs. Isn't it a shame what some people will do to get a little extra?
Oh, that's just awful.
Isn't it just? I'd make an exception for you if I could, my little cherub. Is there anyone else needing a special pickup from Auntie Abigail?
Yeah, Nyoka, actually.
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry.
There must be some way I can increase Nyoka's allotment.
I'm afraid not. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
I thought you were in charge around here, Auntie. You sure ought to be.
Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his.
Forgetful fellow, huh?
Careless experimentation with medicinal substances does take its toll, eventually.
And where can I find this Dr. Williams?
In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations.
Okay. And where's the graveyard?
The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties.
You're gonna go tussle with some Raptidons? Because I've been practicing my dropkick.
Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie.
Okay. I guess I'll have to figure this out on my own.
Chin up, dearie.
Yeah, so I remember there's like multiple ways to, like most quests and tasks in this game, there's multiple ways of handling them. You can go upstairs and pick lock the supply room door and get the caffeinoids that way, but we'll go look for the doctor's body. So anyways, just checking to see. There's this investigate left field toss ball betting. So let's go and do that while we're here in Stellar Bay. This is the place. Hello?
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial Age Mammoths.
I play for Auntie Cleo's Darlings. Don't you recognize me?
Darlings? Seriously? I mean, yeah, you're looking at the Darlings' newest recruit. Boss is a shoo-in for Rookie of the Quarter.
I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? But what are you doing on Monarch?
This is part of a goodwill tour of Halcyon. We're meeting our fans across the colony.
Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought.
You get to listen to games all day? Stellar Bay really is a paradise.
It's pretty swell, but it's a whole lot better with company. Say, I don't think I've seen you before, and I'd remember that face.
I'll try not to be a stranger then. Name's Felix, by the way.
Get a room, you two.
Sorry about that. Was there, something I could do for you?
Velma tells me you outbid Grimm for a signed tossball poster.
Signed by the Black Hole himself. There's no way I could pass that up. Why, did you want to see it? I don't have it yet. I'm waiting on a few customers to pay up before I can give Velma the bits.
I think it's really brave of you to outbid Sanjar's best friend.
You mean dopey landing pad Grimm? I didn't know he and Mr. Nandi were friends. I guess that changes things. Fine. Tell Velma that I don't want the poster anymore. I'll find something else to hang in my shop.
Cool. I found this betting slip in a dead man's apartment. Any idea what might have happened to him?
Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth.
I'm listening.
Right. So the thing with Isaac is he didn't know where to stop. He'd get stuck on something, and he just couldn't let it go. Sometimes he'd drink Purpleberry Punch by the liter. Other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. Started owing the wrong people money.
So who did he owe?
I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them.
Thanks for the tip.
Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Alright, so as I said, you know, these tasks and quests in the game you can resolve multiple different ways. I believe there's a way to either persuade or bribe or intimidate them into leaving town. If you fail that, then you're going to have to attack them. I don't know if my dialogue's high enough. We'll see, I guess. Let's go to...
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on other colonies.
Uh-huh.
Do I have the right quest turned on? Yeah.
They're watching the same serials, following the same tossball games?
Even if I do have to go into battle,
So,
it's
Vic,
not that big
what
of a
was it
deal.
like in prison?
I don't like to talk about it.
Was it run by Spacer's choice?
What part of I don't like to talk about it do you not understand? Is it the don't? Because it can't be the talk.
I bet it was a Spacer's Choice prison. Did you taste the freedom?
It baffles me why the captain puts up with your willful idiocy, Mr. Millstone.
And I love the banter between these two. Probably the favorite pairing in the entire game for me. This looks like a gang of people.
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley.
Oh, sorry, is it yours? Or?
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
Great. I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
I'm making it my business.
Oh yeah? What are you saying exactly?
You bullied people long enough. If you know what's good for you, you'll clear out and never come back.
Wow. Most of the pencil pushers around here cave as soon as you look at them funny. Fine, we're going. This ain't worth it.
Alright, so that's resolved somewhat peacefully, I guess. Let's go report back to Sanjar on that. I'm already up to level 15.
Now, if we were like the other corporations, you wouldn't be allowed to run around dressed like one of Graham's minions.
Oh!
But
Yeah.
we're better than that. See?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what can I do for you?
Isaac Rose is dead. I found the people who killed him.
But that's terrible. What happened?
It was Elijah and his hooligan friends. I ran them out of town.
I'm glad to hear you've dealt with them. They've been causing quite a bit of trouble around town. I've been consumed with other matters of late, but I would have dealt with them eventually.
Mm-hmm. If you say so.
It really was on my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services.
Thank you. I met Grim, the landing pad guard.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
You did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Got to go, actually. Yeah, we're not going to talk about the MSI and all that for now. Alright, so what else do we have that's in Stellar Bay itself? So this is in Hamber Heights. Convince Caleb to return to work. Caleb, Herrick, and the other autoloader operators are on strike until Velma gives them a raise. So again, this one has multiple ways. You can go and get the stash. I'm going to go talk to him. My dialogue is fairly high, so I should be able to talk him or convince him into going back to work.
New face, huh? You from Offworld?
You can say that. Yeah, Captain Mark of the Unreliable.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
Yeah, don't have much time for reveling. We need to talk about Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
Sanjar is going to fire Velma if you don't return to work.
I never meant to call for anyone's head on a pike. Velma's not my favorite person, but she ain't been cruel to us. Devil it all. Now you got me feeling sorry for her. Fine. I guess we'll go back to work to save Velma's job. We'll find a better time to negotiate our wages. Tell Velma not to worry. We'll look out for her.
So you've noticed that I've been using a lot of intimidate and lying. The way the dialogue system works in this game, in case you're curious, is that it will always use your like your highest stat, so to speak. So Persuade currently is at 72 because of Felix and the. Anyway, so I don't know why he's not using Persuade. Probably because it's not high enough, so it's using the best one really. So yeah, dialogue is a very good way of getting through situations in this game without resorting to violence or anything like that.
All I'm saying, son, is you'll generate more.
You can do,
force
you know,
with the proper
it's
grip.
fine, but
it's
yeah.
more like this, not like that.
No offense, Max, but I think I know my way around a tossball stick. I got my own set of highly specialized skull cracking techniques.
Not mean to draw my gun. Wanted to open the door. So we have two things to talk to Velma about: the poster and Caleb.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Can we come to an arrangement on Grimm's poster?
Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering.
Nell is no longer interested in the poster.
That's a surprise. Tossball being part of her business and all. Take the poster then. And if I never hear another word about it, it'll be too soon. Something else on your mind?
Yeah, let's talk about Caleb.
You knocked any sense into him yet?
Yeah, I told him you were about to... No, let's not talk about our lie. Caleb and his crew will return to work immediately.
Sweetest words I've heard all day. Thanks for your help. You've gotten me out of a tight spot here. Take this for your efforts. Honest work deserves honest pay.
Thank you. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Especially when I found out what happened to poor Braxton. Level 16. Alright, so... Yeah, you see how dialogue is really interesting. So let me raise it by 5 so that we can start doing this, and stealth by 5 as well. So now we have to specialize in most areas like tech, stealth, dialogue, ranged. Yeah, so we're gonna have to see where we want to go. Probably I'm gonna try and max out long guns, to be honest, because it is super powerful. Especially if you get to 150. Tech is also good, like science, engineering, medical, science specifically, and persuade also is very good. So yeah, we'll probably max out long guns, persuade, and science probably. Anyway, we also have a perk from tier 2. Bonus to dialogue skills when you have no companions in your party, so no, we're not going to take that. Let's go with pack of pack mules. That's always good to have. Never going to run out of carrying space at this juncture. All right, so that's done. This one, yeah, secret people. So that's the house. We'll go deliver the poster to Grimm while we're here. And MSI is now agreeable with us, so that's good. Let's go back to the landing pad, talk to Grimm, give him his poster.
I hear those rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for rat musk.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in.
I have good news, my friend. Here it is.
Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker, too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
All right. So that's done. You give us a tossball blocker? It's just a... Oh, it's a pro tossball blocker, not one of those normal ones. So does Felix have a pro Toss ball blocker. Now his has a Mr. Zap mod on it, so that's pretty sweet. And he has this gun, the Montag from what's his face, McCred. All right, so that's good. Yeah, I think the rest is all elsewhere, to be honest. So let's look on the map. Probably the priority is getting Nyoka sorted out. So this is where I will find the graveyard. There's also this, which is in Hamber Heights. The house for yeah, so the house and the graveyard are kind of in the same area. So we'll go do passion pills, and then yeah. For now though, we will end the stream here. So yeah, probably later today we'll continue on with the stuff in Monarch. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you at the next episode. Bye.